All right, prop the mic. Oh, pop the mic. PTM. Little glitch there. All right, I think we're good. Can you see me? Hear me?
Yeah, it's all good, man.
All right. What's
The
up?
glitch is only in your head. We're all
What's
good
going on?
here. Things are good. We had another exciting night of NBA basketball last night. The I would say order was restored, right? The favorites got their win, so evened up the series in those two games. So that was good.
How do we miss that Cleveland what do you call it? Suns money line parlay just seemed like a no-brainer. I don't know how we slept on that, but
anyway. Because we're a prop show.
Just
right.
Good point.
We're not focused on that.
That's true.
That's too
true.
easy.
But you have another one coming tonight where you have Memphis and Milwaukee, kind of same. I don't feel as good about the Memphis side of things, but it's another one that has two, like this money line parlay written all over it. But we are a prop show,
so you ready to go? We got 3 games tonight. Lakers at the Grizzlies. Grizzlies are getting 1 point at home. Totals 226.5. The big question mark in this game is Ja and whether or not he'll play. It's hard to read into it. I mean, they're getting a point at home, which would tell me that there's an assumption he's not playing.
It was pretty gruesome injury. Like, didn't look great.
Yeah. But it also is kind of a must win for them. So I could see him trying to play. So we'll see. But anyway, what do you like in this game so far?
All right. Couple things. I did a little digging into that first game. LA was really good scoring at the rim. That's kind of seemed to be where they were doing their most damage, and Memphis was kind of, and it makes sense without Steven Adams and Brandon Clark defensively. Those are two big cogs in their defensive wheel there. So I think that makes sense. So that put me onto guys like Anthony Davis and Rui Hachimura here. Rui's been pretty hot. So I'll start with him. I looked at I first was on his rebounds. I like his rebounds, 4.5. He's done it in 11 of 14 games with LeBron, playing over 18 minutes. So basically just flushing out a couple games, where he played 12 minutes or whatever it was. And he's also done in 14 of 19 games with AD and 20 plus minutes. So nice combination there. He didn't start last game, but he played the 5th most minutes. He played more than Vanderbilt at the end of the day. And LeBron was kind of letting him and Reeves cook. They had that little pick and roll thing going. So I don't know if we get a repeat of that, but I liked his rebounds. And then getting onto the scoring side of things, I also liked his points, 10.5 points. It was minus 105, which was nice. So if you wanted to bring that down to 10 plus, you'd still have some good odds there. But even at 10.5, he's done it in 10 straight games with AD when he plays 22 plus minutes, averaging 16 points a game. And he's done it in 9 of 10 games with LeBron when he plays 22 plus minutes, averaging 15.5 points per game. So Rui's been hot. I think we should ride him here. I like this spot.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not expecting a similar output as last game. I think Memphis just kind of overlooked him and said, if we're going to lose and Reeves and Rui are the ones who beat us, then so be it. And that's what happened. So they're gonna have to adjust for this game. I liked Rui as well, but I went back to a play that we've done a couple like a week or two ago. 1 assist, minus 155. He's done this in 9 of 10 games. And I actually think it's an even better setup right now for him because I think he's going to get a little bit more pressure than he got last game, which is going to force him to give up the ball instead of shooting. So, playing almost 30 minutes and getting 1 assist doesn't seem too hard to do. So,
no.
Yep.
I love it. I love how I was on the points and rebounds and you're on the complete opposite or whatever stat. So, yeah. Anyway, my other guy was Anthony Davis. I started off my morning looking at his assists.
Right.
So I'll just run through that one quickly. He's done in 6 straight games, averaging the line is 2.5 minus 110. He's done in 6 straight, averaging 3.8. Last 9 of 11 games with LeBron. I thought that was pretty good. 16 of 21 with LeBron when he plays 35 plus minutes, which I would imagine he will here tonight. And then also 11 of 14 on 2 days rest, which I thought was a little sneaky there when he plays 30 plus minutes. I think that just knocks out one game where he played less. So yeah, that was one. But he's always, like you brought to my attention, an injury risk. So
Yeah, it's every game, and it's like, last game he had a stinger, and it looked like he was going to be out for the game. What I will say, in the last 3 or 4 weeks, he seems to be getting injured in probably half the games, but he,
comes
goes
back.
to the locker room and comes back. So at least that's promising.
Yeah,
If he plays 30 plus minutes, I think this is a great play. So I
yeah.
like it. Just, play with caution given his injury, how injury prone he is.
Yeah. The other one, I also was on his points here. He's done it in 8 straight games on 2 days rest with 35 plus. He's done it in 9 of 12 overall on 2 days rest. Pretty good there. He's also done it in 2 of 3 this season against Memphis. The only miss was the game one. So I can see him having a nice bounce back game here, getting to 25 points. No Steven Adams to worry about. So
It's
yeah, I like that.
24.5 is the line.
24.5, and it's minus 105. Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I think the role players are going to have less of an impact on this game, and I think this is going to be LeBron and AD kind of contributing the majority again.
Yeah.
Good. All right. Anybody else on the Lakers side?
I had one other, but he's a guy that I hate playing.
You want me to do it then?
Yeah, you could do it.
Because we had the same play. D'Angelo Russell over 5.5 assists. It was minus 145. This is just about volume, right? He's actually only played 35 minutes with both LeBron and AD twice since coming over to the Lakers. Both games he had 7 assists and 7 assists, right? So that's a good story there. If you take out the LeBron and AD factor and you just look at the games in which he's played 35 minutes on the Lakers, he's gone 5 for 6, so that's also good. And in general, he's performed really well against Memphis this year. Some of these games were on the T-Wolves, some were on the Lakers, but he's gone 8, 10, 7, and 7. So overall, it's a good story. And I think he's going to play 30 to 35 minutes tonight again, probably 35 plus. So that should be good. And a high total, 226, relatively high total for the playoffs, 226.5. So there's going to be some scoring.
Yeah, as much as this pains me, he has great historical success against Memphis, even not just this season, but going back, they played a playoff series against them last year when he was on Minnesota. He's cleared this in 11 of 14 games against Memphis, averaging 7.1 assists per game. He's also, when he plays 28 or more minutes, which he will tonight, he's cleared this in 10 straight games against Memphis.
Yeah.
So I think it's no brainer. Also 6 of 7 this season on 2 days rest, another one to tack on there. So yeah, I as much as it pains me, I really like this play.
I don't know why you're so against this guy.
I don't know.
Seems like a nice guy. All right. Let's move over to the Memphis side. Anybody on that side that you got?
No, but what I was looking for, so the Lakers gave up a lot of 3-point attempts in that first game. Their defense, the rim was very good, mid-range good, but it was the one area they were lacking to give a lot from 3. So that's Bane and Kennard basically are the two guys you're going to want to look at here. I looked a little bit into Bane. Nothing was really grabbing me, but I'm waiting for some Kennard lines to come out. I'd like to take a look at him.
Yeah, I didn't get to do this, but it might not be a bad idea to just dissect the fourth quarter and just see who performed while Ja was off the floor. But in general, Bane I think is a good play. He played over 35 minutes. in the first game. He's definitely going to play that much again tonight. Like I said, this is a must-win game. If they lose this game and have to go back to LA, they're in trouble. So 4.5 assists is the play that I had for him. Again, it's juicy, minus 155. But he's done this in 12 of 13 games where he's played 35 plus minutes, and he's had good success against LA. 6, 3, 5, and 6 in the 4 games against LA. So 3 for 4 there. So I think that's good.
Yeah, I'm worried about this game. I think LeBron and AD probably smell blood with the Warriors being down 0-2, and there's a clear path for them now to the finals here. So yeah, I think I could see them coming out strong in this game. So and then with Ja's injury, who knows? So yeah, I'm pretty high on the Lakers here, and yeah, kind of a little hesitant on playing some Memphis guys.
Yeah, the only other guy I would contemplate. We played him the other day, and I think he's a good play again. I think Tyus Jones is a great play in this game. Even if Ja plays, he's going to be playing hurt, which is why his lines aren't out yet. But keep an eye on it as it gets closer to the game time. Look for Kennard, look for Tyus Jones, look for some of these role players who will play a bigger role if Ja doesn't play or even plays reduced minutes.
Yeah, good point.
Okay?
I like that. Yeah.
All right, let's move on. We got the Heat at the Bucks. Bucks are minus 6.5 at home. Totals 219. Low scoring game. These Heat games are brutal to watch. I got to tell you, man. The whole Eastern Conference, like we said yesterday, is just brutal. Yeah. It's slow. Maybe the Celtics are the one team that's kind of fun to watch. But anyway, we put out a play earlier. I'll just recap that. Max Strus, 5.5 RA. So Hero's out of the game, which is the big story. But even with Hero playing part of that first game, Strus put up 7 rebounds and assists. But the big story here is when Hero plays this season, Strus plays 25 minutes on average. When he doesn't play, Strus's minutes go up to 38 minutes. That's including regular season and the postseason. So diving into Strus's utilization a little bit more, he's crossed 5.5 RA in 12 of 14 games when he played 37 minutes this season. And in general, he's had really good success against the Bucks. 4 of 5 crossing the RA. Listen to these numbers: 14, 11, 3, 8, and 7. So just crushed it, especially the first 2, 14 and 11. And you know who didn't play in those first 2? Tyler Hero.
Tyler Hero. All right.
So, I could easily see him putting up 10 RA tonight. So just keep an eye out for him, and even contemplate putting an adjusted play in to get some plus money on this one. Okay.
Now we're talking. I like that.
Yeah. All right. What do you like? Anything on the Heat side?
On the Heat side, yeah, that's really only play I had here was on the Heat side. This guy is scary to play because he's hard to predict. He has up and down games, but Bam Adebayo. I like his rebounds here. So it's 9.5 rebounds, minus 114. He's done it in 8 of 9 games without Tyler Hero, which I thought was pretty good, averaging 11.6 rebounds per game. He's also done in 5 of his last 7 against Milwaukee. But if you factor out, he had a couple low minute games. If you look at games against Milwaukee where he played 25 plus minutes, he's done in his last 4 or 5, and the only miss was in game 1 where he had 9 rebounds. So I like that. It's pretty crazy though. If you adjust that line down to 8.5, it's minus 168. But if you look at 8.5, he's done in 5 straight against Milwaukee. He's done in 8 straight playoff games when he plays 28 plus minutes. And he's done it in 15 of 17 games without Tyler Hero. And his last 3 road games without Hero, 13, 11, and 14. So
pretty good.
Yeah. But it's minus 168. So what I was just going to say is if you don't love the minus 168, I don't mind tacking on a steal to this. One steal is minus 270 for Bam. If you get 9 rebounds and 1 steal is plus 115. I thought that
pretty
was good. Yeah, I thought that was pretty good for Bam. This was another, just one more quick thing. This was interesting because when you take out Hero, games he's played without Hero, he's had a block in 7 straight games without Tyler Hero and 9 of 11 on the season. So if you wanted to do that and do like 7 rebounds and a block, you could get plus 100. 8 rebounds and a block, you're at plus 150. 9 rebounds and a block, you're at plus 200 almost. So I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of options for Bam. And I would have to say that Bam might be your second most played player in the league behind Mr. Brogdon, which I failed to give you credit, and that's wrong for me to
thank you
to call you out last night and then to tell you your pick is terrible on Brogdon, and then but I supported it enough to agree for us to post it, and it crushed.
Yes.
Well,
although he had crushed. I don't know about crushed, but I was happy. One of our Twitter followers did ask if 12.5 line was okay, and I told him yes. And he just got there with 13, so I was happy about that.
Just scraped by. All right, so look for more Brogdon plays to come in the future.
Yes.
All right, I only had one other play on this, and it's actually an under, and it's an under that makes me really nervous, but the data supports it. All right, so okay. I like Chris Middleton under 2.5 threes. Okay.
Let's hear it.
So he is shooting. Actually, I'm going to ask you, what do you think his shooting percentages from 3 this year?
Just guess. 37%.
That would be a good guess if it was last year. He was shooting 37% last year, and this year he's shooting 32%. So his percentage is down, which isn't totally unexpected, right? He came off of an injury, didn't really have out for a long time. So, So with that said, basically he needs to shoot roughly 9 3-pointers in a game to get 3, right? To if he hits his average. He hasn't attempted 9 3-pointers in a game the entire year. His max, he maxes out at 8, which he's done, I think, 4 or 5 times. But with that said, he can obviously shoot better than his average. Yeah. He's cleared this in 7 of 34 games this year. So he's only cleared this in 21% of the games. Versus Miami, he's played them 3 times. He's had 1, 2, and 2, including the game the other day. Okay. So in general, I think it's a relatively good bet. I think it looks like Giannis is going to play tonight. He was just upgraded to questionable, which kind of leads me to think he's playing. I think that's only going to take, obviously, attempts away from Middleton in this game. The counter, I will just to give you full transparency, when he plays 31 plus minutes, he is 4 for 8. So he's hit this 50% of the time when he plays big minutes. But still, I think this is a good enough story where he ends this game with probably 2 threes. So if you're willing to ride this and be nervous about it, or if you got other plans tonight and have no interest in watching this game, then this is a good play. All right,
there you go. Set it and forget it.
Set it and forget it. The underplays are always good on games where you're sleeping or got other plans. So
that's right. That's right.
All right. So
I think it's scary, but I see it. Math is works. I like the attempts. Good analysis there. I like it.
Yeah. If you don't like math, just play the money line. And if you want to get into math, then you've come to the right place. The prop show. All right. So let's wrap it up with the last game. We got the T-Wolves at the Nuggets. Nuggets are minus 8.5 at home. Totals 222. Nuggets dominated the first game. I don't expect the same tonight. I think the Nuggets, the T-Wolves will give them a little bit more. But it does kind of feel like the T-Wolves are running out of gas, right?
Yeah, I think so. The two play-in games, right? It's just it was right. They played the 2 playing games.
Yeah, they played 2 play-in games. They also had to basically fight for their lives,
down the stretch.
The whole down the stretch, which it's the same thing that happened with the Lakers, but the Lakers seem to have a lot of positive momentum. The T-Wolves are just they feel like they're just treading water,
fumes.
Right? Running on fumes. So I think the Nuggets will win tonight. I think it'll be a much closer game though. But in terms of player props, what do you like in this one?
Can we get a bounce back game from Ant-Man? What do you say?
I don't like it, man. I looked into him. He's just so. I told you the other day, He's so inconsistent. He's all over the place. The line is relatively low, right? When we were talking about
Yeah.
him the other day, I think it was 27.5.
Yeah.
Now it's down to 22.5, I think it was. Right. So
23 and a half. Yeah. Yeah.
23.5 now. So it's an attractive line to play for him because he can definitely crush that. But he's all out of sorts right now. So I personally would lay off of him. But
Yeah.
do you like him tonight?
A little bit. But yeah, you had to remind me the other day that the dude's only 21 years old, and this is what you can expect with a 21-year-old, right? You forget this is his third season, right? It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
So I am kind of, I don't know if this is it's a little bit more of a gut play. I'm kind of hoping maybe for a bounce back game from him here. You have what's your feelings on Jokic here? He's full strength. He's playing 35 plus minutes this game, or what do you think the deal is?
So let's talk about the game first because
Okay.
I think it's obviously in some sense it's a bit of a must win for the Nuggets, which is not true, right? Like even if they lose this game, they're still going to win the series.
Yeah.
But they don't want to put themselves in the position of going back to Minnesota, tied, right? That just sets them up for a bad potential situation. So I do think from that perspective, if it's a close game, Jokic is going to play probably bigger minutes than he did in the first game. But overall, I think he's got some nagging injuries, and I think if all goes as planned, they will try to keep him under 30 minutes again.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
if you look at his performance under 30 minutes this year,
Okay.
his points line tonight was 22.5. He's only crossed 22.5 points in 2 of 15 games when he's played less than 30 minutes. And also, he's played Minnesota 4 times this year. The 2 games that he crossed 22.5 points, he had 24 and 31. He played more than 30 minutes. The other 2 games where he had less than 30 minutes, he had 20 and 13. So again, it's all the real question about Jokic line is he going to play 30 minutes or is he going to play less than 30 minutes, right?
Yeah.
So that's the key tonight.
I think what way are you're leaning less, I think.
I'm leaning less because
Yeah.
I think they're looking at the bigger picture. They feel like they'll win this series, and if he's battling some nagging injuries, like he's got to like preserve himself a bit. So I think that's the way they'll go. They have a little bit of depth behind him with a couple big men. So we'll see. That would be my lean though. Would be on the under.
All right. Yeah, I like that, especially with the nagging injuries. I think that's definitely a good play here tonight. Even though it's an under, I don't love those, but I can get behind it. So getting back to Anthony Edwards here, I like the 23.5 points. I'm just kind of feeling a bounce back game, and just on 2 days rest, he's cleared 23.5 points in 10 of 12 games this season on 2 days rest. So I thought that was putting him in a nice spot for a bounce back game here, but not a super. This is not a 5-unit play here,
It's like a tenth of a unit play here.
All right, on to the. I got 2 plays on the Denver side. You have anything on Minnesota?
No, I had nothing on that side.
Okay.
What do you like on Denver?
So I got 2 on Denver here. Let's start with MPJ, Michael Porter Jr. Tough guy to get right. We haven't had a ton of success with him, right, over the years. But I think this is a good spot for him. 17.5 points, minus 120. He's done this in his last 6 of 7 when he plays 27 plus minutes, averaging 22 points a game. He's done it in 4 straight games against Minnesota when he plays 23 plus minutes, averaging 22 points a game as well. He's done it in his last 5 of 6 on 2 days rest, averaging 21 points a game. And 5 straight games on 2 days rest when he plays 27 plus minutes, averaging 23 points a game. So I think this sets up nicely for him, a team he's performed well against on 2 days rest, which he's one of these guys that performs better with the extra rest. And even just overall recently when he plays 27 plus minutes, I think he played more than that in the first game, I believe. So I like Michael Porter here.
Okay.
And then the other guy was Jamal Murray, over 10.5 RA, minus 130. He's done this in 7 of 8 on 2 days rest. His last 9 of 11 when he plays 30 plus minutes. And he had 16 RA, which was split evenly, 8 rebounds, 8 assists in game 1. So I think he gets there again.
Yeah, he's super. I was looking at him too. He's super consistent on the assist line. When he plays, I think he played about 29 minutes. Was that right?
Yeah,
Something like
yeah,
that.
it was just under 30. Yeah.
Yeah. And the reality is, that's the other opportunity here. I think because they were blowing them out, a lot of these guys who were really planned to play 35 plus minutes ended up playing 29. So that's good in two perspectives. One is they're more rested, right? They didn't like really get too taxed in game 1. Two is I think some of the lines are built off of an assumption that they're going to blow them out again tonight. And I think this game will be closer. So you could see a guy like Murray who cleared this last game playing 35 minutes tonight potentially, which is going to force that over. So
Yeah.
I think both of those are good plays.
Nice. All right. What do
All
you
right.
got for me?
Oh, role players, man. I don't know who to talk about first because I don't love either of them. Well, KCP, I'll start with him. 9.5 points. There was this is the least amount of data I've ever provided on a player.
Okay.
He's just done it in 4 of 4 games against Minnesota. So he's had 10, 11, 11, and 15. And he played pretty good minutes last game, which is why he had 15. So, that's it. Like it, another tenth of a unit play right there.
There you go. I know. I love dude, role players at home in the playoffs are the spots to play these guys. This is that's where you gotta hammer them. So I like that. You don't need a lot to back it up.
Yeah, especially starting role players, right? Because they're guaranteed to get some good minutes. Looking at the bench, I actually like Bruce Brown. There's a little bit more supporting data here. 10.5 points was his line, which actually seemed a little high for him, but he has crossed this in 43 of 60 games when he plays 25 plus minutes, and he played more than 25 minutes last game. And in general, he's had some good success against Minnesota. His last 5 games against Minnesota, he's put up 8, which is lower, 16, 16, 9, and 14. So he's cleared in 3 of 5, but the 2 games that he missed, he had 21 and 22 minutes. So it really, again, just like the Jokic conversation, it's all about minutes. He gets 25 minutes, he's going to clear this line probably tonight. And I in general, I like Bruce Brown because he's versatile. He can hit threes. He can drive to the hoop and get fouled a lot. He gets fouled quite a bit in the minutes that he's in. So I think that's a good play. Just 11 points. And then, the last stat on him, if for some reason Jokic doesn't play, Bruce Brown has crossed this line, 11 points in 11 of 12 games that Jokic was out. So,
all right.
So that's just icing on the cake. If he doesn't play or if he plays reduced minutes, that's only going to benefit Bruce Brown. So,
yeah, I like that. I didn't want to get onto the. I had some nice backup for Jamal Murray in games with that. I think they played 5 or 6. I think Jokic sat 5 or 6 games this season. He cleared that RA line in every single one of them. I want to bring it up, and just to point out, I'd give a shout out to one of my buddies who's a Nuggets fan. He said if Jokic misses this game, he wanted us to pay attention to Peyton Watson's lines. So just he's a rookie for the Nuggets, and he's pretty high on him. So just wanted to give him a little
Peyton Watt. Who is that? Like what team? What college did he come from? I don't
know. He's a mystery. I said I didn't really know too much about him, but he said keep an eye on Peyton Watson if Jokic sits. So tried to get that out there.
All right, Peyton Watson's dropping a triple-double tonight.
Like Lindy Waters.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so I think in general, I found today to be a little harder to find, so I would kind of play tonight cautiously. I would probably say the picks that I liked the best out of everything we had was probably Russell assists in the Lakers game, and then Strus RA in the Heat game. So we'll have to go through that and get some up, but in general, just be cautious tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough when you have 3 of the biggest superstars, Giannis, Jokic, and Ja, all with big injury concerns here. So, exactly. But tread lightly here for sure.
Exactly.
All right,
nice
cool. Work.
But anyway, enjoy the games, and We'll be back soon.
All right. PTM out.
Out.